Hi guys, so good news, you don't have a test for topic 15 for math. Instead, I'm going to give you an activity. So topic 15 focused on solving real world problems. So instead of giving you a test, I decided to give you real world problems, okay? So the good thing about this activity is that you have a choice, okay? I gave you two different activities and you can choose whichever one you want to do, okay? If you want to do both, hey, go ahead, okay? But you only have to do one to get the grade that you need so that it can go in as complete for your report card, okay? So we're going to have two choices. The first one is you're going to have to create a line plot. So if you remember or if you don't remember and you need help with line plots, go back into the math section of Google Classroom and look for the YouTube video on topic 15-1, 15-2, okay? Those videos, I think it's one video for both lessons. That video is going to talk about line plots, okay? So go back and watch that if you need help. And then the second choice that you are going to have is you are going to use area and perimeter and the missing side to design something. Now, if you need help with that, that was 15-3. So go back and watch the YouTube video for 15-3 so that way you can review area and perimeter. Okay, so let's go over the first assignment right now. So I'm going to go to Google Classroom, I'm going to go to math, and I think the topic is, or the activity is called topic 15 math activity. So it's, you can't really see it. Okay, so right here it says topic 15 math activity. That's the title of it. And then in there you're going to find the two documents. The first document is the line plot document. So if you want to do that one, you're going to pick that one. And the second one is the designer's world. So if you want to do that one where you use area and perimeter, you're going to pick that one. And then once I finish recording this video, I'm going to put this in here too so that you can watch it. Okay, so I'm going to click line plot activity. All right, it's open. All right, so here is all that you need for this activity. Okay, so you are to gather information from 10 or more members in your family or friends and neighbors and record it on a line plot. Okay, so you need information to make line plots, right? So I don't want you just asking 4 people questions, okay? I want you to call your grandparents, your uncles, aunts, okay? Cousins, friends, neighbors, okay? If you have their number, you can text them, you can call them, whatever you want. So I decided to call my family. So I decided to text them and call them, say, hi, hey, how are you? Hope you're staying healthy, but also I need something from you, okay? So I asked them a question and they gave me the answer and I was able to record it, okay? So I'll show you my example right now. So the first step is pick your topic. What do you want to ask people about? Some topics can be birthday months, so what month does their birthday fall in? Shoe sizes, what size is their shoe? The first initial of their first name, so how many people's names start with A, B, C, D? Okay. Favorite color, favorite sport, or anything else that you can think of on your own, okay? So I decided to do shoe sizes. So I called my family and I asked them, hey, what size shoe are you? And they told me and I recorded it, okay? Then after you gather all of your information, okay, so you're going to decide on your topic, then you're going to make the phone calls, okay? You're going to gather the information. Like I said, you may have to call or text, okay? Or if your parents have them on Facebook or Instagram or something, they can ask too, okay? But remember, it has to be 10 people or more, okay? Step 3, I know you can't really see it, but when you look at it on your own computer and go to Google Classroom and open it, you'll be able to see it better. Step 3 is make your data table. Okay, so I made my data table, okay? So here you go. So my data table, remember, neat, okay? I made my data table. On this side, it's going to be the shoe sizes, okay? And on this side, it's going to be the number of sizes that were in my family, okay? So when I called my family, I got size 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5. So I recorded everything that they told me right here using tally marks, okay? So one side is going to be your options. The other side is going to be your information, your votes, okay? So let's say, for example, let's say you decide to do the birthdays, okay, what month their birthday falls in. On this side, you're going to write birthday months, and you're going to write January, February, March, April, May, June, July, blah, blah, blah. And then on this side, you're going to put a tally for every month that someone's birthday falls in. Or let's say you pick favorite sport. Over here, you're going to write favorite sport, and then you're going to write your options here. And then over here, you're going to say number of sports, and then you're going to put your tally marks for whatever people vote for here. Okay? And then I gave it a little title. I put SB Family Shoe Sizes. Okay, you can put a title if you want. You don't have to. Okay? So then the next thing that you'd have to do, make a line plot and plot your points. So after I did my data table, I went ahead and on another paper, you can use the back of the paper, okay? On another paper, I went ahead and I put line plot, okay? So I took all of the sizes that were over here, I made sure to put them down here. So 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, blah, 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 blah. And then I went ahead and 6. How many people had size 6? 4 people. So how many X's do I need to put on 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So you get the idea. You're going to do the same thing all the way down. And then step 5. Step 5 says make 2 data interpretations. This means analyze and interpret your information. Remember, analyze means that you're studying. Okay, you're going to look at it. You're going to observe, study it, look at it, think. And then interpret means that you're going to make an observation. You're going to tell me what you were able to analyze, okay, when you were staring and studying it. So here's my data table, here's my line plot. I'm going to give you a few seconds to study it, analyze it, and then I want you to interpret something, make an observation. So here are the 2 things that I was able to interpret. Down here, okay, so where your data table is, this is where I want you to write your interpretation. 2, okay, you can do more if you want. I can interpret that the most common shoe size in my family is a 6. Looking at my data table, is that true? Most people have a size 6. The other thing that I wrote down is, I can also interpret that nobody is a size 9.5. Is that true? Yeah, nobody used the size 9.5. So those are 2 things that I was able to interpret by looking at my data table and my graph. Okay? And then the final thing that you need to do is decorate your data table and your line plot appropriately. So since I picked shoe sizes, I decorated the data table with little feet all around it. And then my line plot, I drew 2 shoes. Okay, not the best drawings, but decent. Okay. And then up here I put the title line plot. Okay. So that's it for this activity. Okay. So you have 2 papers. Like I said, you can use the same sheet and you can do it on front to back, or you can do it on 2 separate papers. Okay. And make sure that your parents take a picture of this and send it to me on Class Dojo, or else you won't get credit for it. Okay. So remember, this is like your test. So you don't do this, it's like not doing your math test. Okay, so that's this one. And then the next one is Designer's World. Okay, so you are to figure out the missing sides of squares and rectangles, then find the area or perimeter. Once you find that, you may design your own farm, zoo, or park. Okay, so step 1, remember your formulas. Remember, area was length times width, and perimeter had 3 different formulas. Okay, there's length plus width plus length plus width. There's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and then there's 2 times the length plus the width. Remember, if you don't remember this, go back and watch the YouTube video for 15-3 and you'll get a review for area and perimeter. Okay. Step 2, remember how to find the missing parts. Watch the 15-3 YouTube video I posted if you need help. So remember, if you have the area and you're missing one of the sides, you divide. If you have the perimeter and you're missing one of the sides, it's a little more work, okay? You have to add, then subtract, then divide by 2, okay? So before I keep going, I'll show you this. Remember this? This was in that video, okay? So down here, you'll be able to see the steps. I'll let you look at that for a few minutes, okay? If you need more time to look at this, I suggest you pause the video and just stare at it and look at what I wrote, or you go back and you watch the video. Okay? I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Watch the video on 15-3. Watch the video on 15-3. Okay? That's it for that. Alright. So step 3, look at the information I provided below. Okay, so down here, you're going to see the information that I gave you that you need for this assignment. And I'll go over it later. Step 4, do the math on a piece of paper to find the missing sides. Step 5, take your information and design your own farm, zoo, or park on a separate piece of paper. Step 6, you must add some decoration to your designing page. Okay, so I did the first one for you. Okay, so look at the information below as step 3. And then step 4 is do the math on a piece of paper to find the missing sides. Okay, so I'm going to fold it so that you don't cheat. Okay, so even though you can't see it, right here it says figure 1. So on a separate sheet of paper, okay, I wrote figure 1, and I wrote really big, so I was running out of space, so I suggest you write smaller. Okay, so figure 1. This is what it says right here on the computer. It says area is equal to 24 square yards. The length is 6 yards. And the width, remember we represented by x, we don't know that. So we need to find the width. We're given the length, I don't know the width. So yours doesn't have to look exactly like this part, okay, but I do need this information that I gave you here. I need it right here. Okay, so figure 1, put down the information. Then solve it however you need to, okay? So what I did is I drew the shape and I wrote what I did know. So I put 6 yards, okay? So what do I know about rectangles and squares? If one side is a length, then the opposite side is going to be the same length. So if this side is 6 yards, the opposite side is also going to be 6 yards. Okay, so I know that. But I need to find the missing side. So then I know that my formula is 6 times whatever this is going to give me the area. So now I have to divide. So 24 divided by 6 is going to give me 4. Or you can think of it like this. What times 6 will give me 24? Okay. So now I found my missing side. So if this is 6, that means that this and this is 4. Okay. But remember, I said to find the perimeter or the area. So I'm given the area. That means I have to find the perimeter. Okay. So remember, the perimeter is adding all around. So 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4, it's going to give me 20 yards. So the area is 24 square yards. One side is 6, the other side is 4, and my perimeter is 20. Okay, so I'm done with figure 1. I'm going to start figure 2 for you. This is what it says over here on your Google Doc. Okay, so figure 2, this is what it says. Figure 2, the perimeter, so now I'm given the perimeter. So the perimeter is equal to 30 yards. The width is 10 yards. And the length, I don't know it. Okay, so remember, perimeter doesn't have square yards, only area has square yards or square feet or square inches. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I drew it. So I know that the width is 10 yards. So if this is 10 yards, I know that my opposite side is going to be 10 yards. Okay, but I don't know the sides yet. So I know that I need to add these sides. So 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. So my perimeter all around is 30. I'm going to take this side and this side away. So 30 minus 20 is equal to 10. So that means that this side right here plus this side is equal to 10. Okay, I need to figure out how much each side is. So I have 10, and I have to divide that 10 by 2 sides. So what do? 10 divided by 2 is equal to, what times 2 will give you 10? 5, right? So I know that each side is 5 yards. Now, you have the perimeter, you have this length right here, and now you have the other length. Now you need to find the area. So you're going to multiply 5 times 10. And you get 50 square yards. Okay? So that's your area. So now I have my perimeter, I have my 2 sides, and I have my area. Okay? So now, let's say I did all of it. Let's say I did figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4, figure 5, and figure 6. So there's 6 figures. I just did 2 for you. So really there's only 4. Okay? You're going to take all of this. Woohoo! Okay? And you are going to make your design. Okay, so I decided to do a farm. You can do a park, you could do a zoo, or you could do a farm. Okay, now I solved figure 1 and figure 2. Okay, so figure 1, the area is 24 square yards, the perimeter was 20 yards, and I know my dimensions. So over here, all I need you to do is wherever you draw figure 1. So I want you to label it. So clearly this is figure 1 because it has a 1 next to it. And I know that one side is 10 yards. No, I'm sorry. One side is 6 yards. And I know that the other side from doing my math is 4 yards. Okay, so 6 on one side, 4 on the other side. Okay. Notice how I decorated it like a barn. Oh, I didn't tell you what it was. So I wrote figure number 1. So I wrote number 1. I called it a barn, and then I had the dimensions. Okay. Now let's look at figure 2. Figure 2, I had the perimeter, I had the area, but what I need for over here, I need the dimensions. So one side is 10, one side is 5. So here's figure 2, alright, because it has a 2 next to it, and I made figure 2 a garden. Okay, so you can see there's carrots, flowers, strawberries. So I know that this side is 10 yards. I know that this side is 5 yards. So all I put was the dimensions. Okay? So that's the same thing that you're going to do for figure 3, figure 4, figure 5, and figure 6. When you do the math over here and you figure out the missing side, you're going to go ahead and label each one with the sides. Okay? Notice how I have a lake or pond in the middle. That's fine, okay? It has no dimensions. I didn't label it with a number. That's just because it's extra, okay? So you can go ahead and decorate it with any extra things that you want. But I for sure need to see figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? So these are your 2 papers for your Designer's World activity. And once you finish, go ahead and have your parents send me a picture of it so that way I can mark that you did it. And that's it. So those are your 2 activities for the week. They're due on Sunday, so go ahead and pick which one you want to do and get started. All right? Have fun. Bye.